Fridays throughout the summer from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Farmington Volunteer Fire Department. The Uniontown Farmers Market, held weekly on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to noon in Bailey Park. The Connellsville Farmers Market, held weekly on Thursday evenings from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Eastside Fire Station on Arch Street. And so much more. So, for more details, visit the WMBS Facebook page each Wednesday for a complete farmers market roundup. Make wellness a priority. Eat healthy and shop local. And make it a habit to visit the farmer's market nearest you.
Your local station, WMBS.
Good morning, and welcome to another Saturday edition of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out, enjoy fine dining and a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you on what is going to turn into a very hot Saturday. Great weather. I know you'll be out and about taking advantage of it, but do pause from your meanderings today. Pick up the phone, give us a phone call. Two-way sports talk, the lifeblood of any sports talk show. And I would love to hear from you today on a variety of subjects. Telephone number, if you would like to join the conversation, 724-438-4593. Once again, that number, 724-438-4593. We've got a good show lined up for you today, too. A former WVU All-American tackle, Brian Joswiak, will join me at 10:45 to talk about the 35th annual Brian Joswiak Legends Golf Outing, which is coming up in Morgantown here in July. Always a great event, and it has raised a lot of money for Children's Hospital in Morgantown. So Brian Joswiak, one of my favorites, joining me at 10:45. And we haven't talked hockey in a while. The Stanley Cup playoffs just concluded. A dominating performance by the Florida Panthers, winning their second consecutive Stanley Cup. Penguins have a new coach, new coaching staff in place. They're making all sorts of offseason moves. The draft is just around the corner here. And to that end, I have called on my good friend Bob Grove to join me at 11:30, talking NHL and Penguins hockey at 11:30. The one, the only Bob Grove. And, of course, your phone calls in between all of this. Let's get to the scoreboard very quickly. In Major League Baseball, interleague play at PNC Park last night. Texas Rangers down Pittsburgh 6-2. Other interleague play, Seattle 9, Chicago Cubs 4, Milwaukee blast Minnesota 17-6. Kansas City over San Diego 6-5. And the Boston Red Sox take the San Francisco Giants 7-5. National League play, Miami 6, Atlanta 2. St. Louis Cardinals beat Cincinnati 6-1. Philadelphia Phillies down the New York Mets 10-2. Arizona over Colorado 14-8. LA Dodgers beat Washington 6-5. And in the American League, Chicago White Sox best Toronto 7-1. Tampa Bay 14, the Detroit Tigers 8. Baltimore Orioles over the New York Yankees 5-3. The Athletics beat Cleveland 5-1, and Houston nips the LA Angels 3-2. So that is a look at the scoreboard. Turning our attention to sports obituaries, and one from the baseball world, one from the football world. Ron Taylor, affectionately known as Dr. Baseball, died on Monday in Toronto. Taylor was a member of the famous 1969 New York Mets. He made his debut in '62 with the Cleveland Indians before ending up on the St. Louis Cardinals in 1963. He won a World Series with that team in 1964. However, most know Taylor for his time with the Mets from 1967 to 1971. He was part of that famous 1969 Miracle Mets World Series run, the first in team history. Taylor had 59 appearances, 13 saves that season, had a 9-4 record, and pitched a 2.72 ERA. After his retirement in baseball, Taylor went on to become the team physician for the Toronto Blue Jays. He served in that role for 3 decades before his death. Taylor finished his career with a 3.93 ERA across 800 innings pitched, won 45 games with 4 different teams in his career. Taylor spent time with the Indians, Cardinals, Mets, Astros, and Padres. His longest tenure was with the Mets. And from the world of pro football, former Buffalo Bills offensive tackle Stu Barber died on June the 11th. He was 3 days shy of his 87th birthday. Barber played on the Bills' AFL title teams in 1964 and 1965 and was a 5-time AFL All-Star in his 9 seasons. After earning All-America honors at Penn State as a 2-way tackle, Barber was a 4th-round pick of the Bills in the 1961 AFL draft. The Cowboys selected him in the 3rd round of the NFL draft, but he signed with the Bills. Barber played outside linebacker as a rookie and intercepted 3 passes with 1 return for a touchdown. He moved to offensive tackle after the season, serving as Jack Kemp's blindside protector. Barber was all AFL first team in 1963 and 1964, second team in 1966. He also was named to the 2nd AFL all-time team. Missed only 1 game in his career, which ended after the 1969 season. After his playing career, Barber transitioned to college scouting, serving in the Buffalo personnel department. He rose through the ranks to assistant general manager and vice president. Barber's front office time with the Bills ended in 1983 when he retired to South Carolina. Stu Barber, great offensive lineman back in the old AFL, passing away at the age of 86. Okay, we're going to open up the phone lines next for Open Line Sports Talk. One line is open if you want to jump in. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. Do give us a call. Love to hear from you this morning. We'll be back right after this.
Bogey's Restaurant at Duck Hollow Golf Club is open for the season. Check out Bogey's refreshed 2025 menu. Bogey's is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 12 to 7 and Sundays 12 to 5. The golf season is also here with the Pro Shop open daily from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Golf 18 with a cart Monday through Friday for $39. The rate for 18 in a cart on Saturdays and Sundays is $49. Seniors 55 and over can play 18 with a cart during the week for just $30. You can purchase a special card that includes 20 18-hole rounds of golf with a cart for $660. That breaks down to just $33 a round, a savings of $16 off weekend fees. Looking at starting a golf league? Duck Hollow has league openings on Mondays and Fridays. Stop by the Pro Shop for more details. Bogey's Restaurant and Duck Hollow Golf Course. Call 724-880-9082 for golf tee times or for restaurant information today, or check out Duck Hollow on Facebook for weekly specials.
The summer's here, so why not treat yourself to fun at Walnut Hill Mini Golf, now open Tuesday through Sunday from noon to 9. Enjoy the golf and their frozen custards and drinks. They are simply the best. They were voted one of the best family fun centers in Fayette County. Walnut Hill Mini Golf is located a half-mile south of the Uniontown Shop and Save. Call 724-437-3005. Visit walnuthillminiaturegolf.com or like them on Facebook. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, noon to 9, and they're still for sale. Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
It's back for a third year, the 2025 version of Best in Fayette presented by Nemacolin. Voting starts June 25th and runs through July 9th. To learn more and to vote for your favorite business, visit bestinfayette.com. The 2024 Best in Fayette books are still available and can be picked up for free at locations such as WMBS Radio, Shop and Save Walnut Hill, Armstrong in Connellsville, Bittersweet Cafe in Farmington, and the casino at Nemacolin. For more information, visit bestinfayette.com.
If you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
Hi, this is Penguins broadcaster Phil Bork, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on this beautiful Saturday morning. We're going to have some great weather. We're going to open up the phone lines, telephone number if you'd like to jump into the Sports Talk, 724-438-4593. But before I go to the lines, I want to thank everybody involved with the Fayette County Sports Hall of Fame golf outing and luncheon yesterday at Pleasant Valley Golf Club in Connellsville. We had great weather, and we had a great turnout. 104 golfers participated in the golf outing, and we had over 178 people also come in for the luncheon. So we had a packed house, great class of individuals, our 16th class. And Chris Kluss and the board did a great job. Pleasant Valley, great host once again. We thank Tuffy Schallenberger out at Pleasant Valley Golf Club. And just another great event, getting to break bread and share stories. And we had a great turnout of former athletes and Hall of Famers, some of the newer kids on the horizon. Emma Larkin from Geibel and the Vilma brothers, the Connellsville wrestlers, were there. And, of course, our class. And I just can't say enough about what a great event it was. We really, really enjoyed the day. Let's go to the phone lines. Take our first phone call of the morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Charles, 35 times this year, your Buccos have scored two runs or less.
I know. Well, if I was Donnie Kelly, the first thing I would have said to O'Neill Cruz was, how about checking out the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? You know,
that was just,
George,
an incredible play. I couldn't believe it.
There's no excuse for that. He didn't make any effort to go after that.
Well, missing it is one thing. You can do things like that. I've seen great players do things like that. But he didn't go after the ball. I mean, to me, that's
laziness. What it is, it's just plain laziness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, George, Clint Hurdle sat Andrew McCutcheon down years ago.
Yes, he did.
An asshole. Leland went after Bonds, in the famous years, That's why this franchise is in the sick shape that it's in. There is no accountability. There is no emphasis on trying to do your best. I'm sorry, but that stuff's hard to stomach, George.
Well, it is, and
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not going to change. I mean,
the
regime is there; they're in place. I don't care for some of the things that they do. I think our scouting and development is a joke.
Is a joke. Yeah, that's what it is. See, small market teams can do it if they do it judiciously, but the Pirates do nothing like that.
No.
But George, that's enough of that. George, okay. How do you place the Florida Panthers in with the great Stanley Cup champions of this quarter set?
I think they rate highly. I like I told you, they are tenacious. I love the way they play. They get after you. I think they're a very, very solid hockey team in all phases of the game. Offensively, they're a great forechecking team. They play good defense, and they've got solid goaltending. Those are the three necessary parts to having a solid Stanley Cup championship.
Would you say it's the Pens, the Hawks, the Kings, the Wings, and the Panthers in the first quarter of the century?
I might put the Wings a little bit higher.
Yeah, because did the Wings win 2 in a row in this set?
I'm trying to think back. I think they may have, but I'll have to look that up.
But anyhow, 25 years in a row that the Wings made
the playoffs, which was really something. And now they're struggling, but I even though I was disappointed this year because I thought this was a year, I don't think they're that far away. They need to make a couple of more moves, but I don't think they're that far away from getting back there. Meanwhile, it's going to be interesting to hear what Bob Grove has to say about the new regime in Pittsburgh and things that are going on there with the Penguins. This is going to be a very interesting offseason for the Penguins.
The trouble is the Penguins and the Oilers in the playoffs, the Penguins stars played like stars. But what's his name now? Connor McChoker. Draisaitl didn't play that well either.
Well, and you know what? That's true, but I also have to give the Florida Panthers a little bit of credit.
Yeah,
they did what they needed to do with those guys on the ice, and they had people that could do that. They had good defenders.
Actually, to me, George, Edmonton lost that series when they lost in the 5th game, when they had the home ice advantage back, and they squandered it again.
Well, and I was never sold, and I still am not. And Bob Grove is going to agree with me because I saw him put a tweet out. Edmonton can't go into next season with this goaltending. They can't.
Do you think Florida is set up to dominate the league for a while?
Well, a lot of that depends on what happens with free agency and some other things. Plus, the guys are still getting it. Age can catch up with you very quickly. You could be playing well, and then they've got some older guys on that team. But Bobrovsky looks like he's going to be okay. Goaltenders tend to play a little bit longer. They've got some really good young players on that team. I just like the way they're constructed, and I think their coach is tremendous. I think they're going to be around. I don't think they're going to slip for a couple of years. Yeah.
And Zito, the general manager, has done a tremendous job.
Really has, yeah.
George, quickly, any thoughts on the Thunder and Pacers this morning?
Well, I haven't watched too much of it. I have watched a little bit lately because of T.J. McConnell and my relationship with the McConnell family. I know them very, very well. In fact, the McConnell family took over the broadcast last night at the end of the game. They were front and center with the broadcast, and I saw Kathy McConnell Miller there and some other people. The family was in attendance, and what a great family that is. I'm pulling for Indiana because of TJ. I really am. And isn't it great to have a WPIAL player getting this kind of notoriety in the NBA Finals? I think it's great. It's great. It really is.
And the last thing I want to ask you is a thought-provoking question. I've thought about this for a few weeks. Are the Altoona curve and Washington Wild things about the same? Are they about the same kind of franchise? Are they about the same quality of franchises?
No, there's a difference in the players with an independent league team and a team that has a major league that is a major league affiliate. There is a difference in depth on those teams.
Okay. There's
depth and quality of player. There is a difference.
Even the quality of the nine that they put on the field.
Oh yeah, there is a difference. Yeah.
What?
I mean, those guys are not, are independent players. That means that the major league teams didn't deem them worthy. That's the biggest thing. Not that they're not good players, but they're, I think there's a difference. I really do.
Now, independent leagues like the Frontier League, most of them, I guess, are small towns or small areas.
Right.
Do they get them only because they can't get a major league affiliate?
Well, it's so tough. They lopped off how many teams in minor league baseball contracted greatly. So for some places, this is the only way to go. As far as having a team. Yeah.
What, independent league?
Yeah.
You and I both remember when there were about 7 tiers of minor leagues?
Yep.
Remember?
Class D ball.
Class D or wasn't Rookie League?
There was Rookie League, Class D, Class C, Class.
George, to me, the thing that stands out. Remember, 1959. The Giants had a young rookie named Willie McCovey who come up, spent 7 years in the minor leagues before he got to the Giants in 59. Because to me, there were 3 outstanding rookies that come up at Willie McCovey, Tim McCarver, and I think Ron Santo.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think the quality of those players were better back than they are,
Well, you didn't have a path to the major leagues as quickly. As Santo used to tell me when I used to talk to him when the Cubs came to town, you really had to pay your dues to earn a spot on a major league roster.
Yeah, you did.
And you had to learn how to play the game.
Back in 1959, George, something else too. I think your best athletes were still going to baseball. They weren't necessarily like going to football or basketball.
And that has changed. Now, the only thing that has changed in another direction for baseball is here in America, some of the better athletes are playing other sports, but that has been augmented by the fact that they're getting so many players. It was only a trickle at first, and then the floodgates opened. So many players from Latin America.
George, the last thing as I go out, do you have any idea if and when they're going to get rid of that expletive-deleted courtesy runner?
I don't. I hate it, But I think as long as Manfred is running things, it's going to be around for a little while. Yeah, I think it cheapens. I told you, if I'm going to make a compromise on that, play a couple of innings the regular way before you do that.
And then, George, I don't want to compromise on anything, but that's beside the point. And then if you're going to do that, put the guy on first base only.
Yeah.
Don't put him in scoring, but besides, as I said, I can't say what I was going to say, or two things. The FCC would get after me, and I'd have to go to confession.
Well, you probably should still go to confession, Charlie.
I guess maybe you're right.
Right.
Anyhow, George, I know you have a guest coming up, so thank you. Hope you had a good outing yesterday.
We did. It was a beautiful day. It was a great class, a great turnout, and it's good to see the sporting community in the county rally around an event like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, George. Thanks. We'll try to catch you next week.
All right. You take care. And that frees up our phone lines, but we do have a guest coming up, and I'm going to get a break in here real quick. And when I come back, I'll be back with one of my all-time favorites, former WVU All-American tackle Brian Joswiak. He is up next here on the Sportsline.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For more information on free estimates or hiring, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Warm weather is finally here, and with it, the opportunity to upgrade your lawn or yard with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown, All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has a fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for Neutrina products and carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies too. So whether you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are looking to install an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers for you. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Chris Parker Jr., what's going on at Autoland for June?
While other car manufacturers are raising prices, at Autoland, we're lowering prices the whole month of June. We are also offering above Blue Book value in all trades. All this, plus the amazing incentives and financing offers from Hyundai on top of that.
I'm listening.
How about the fuel-efficient 2025 Elantra SE with 2.99 APR for 72 months, or lease for $229 per month? Check out our great selection of all-wheel drive SUVs, ranging from the Hyundai Kona to the full-size third-row Santa Fe, both with 3.99 financing for 72 months. Or choose $2,000 HMF bonus cash on the Santa Fe.
Plus Hyundai Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection with every new Hyundai purchased, and 3-year, 36,000-mile free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutolandHyundai.com.
Remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Casey Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
Hi, this is Bob Walk, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on what is shaping up as a gorgeous Saturday. And it's my pleasure to welcome into the show one of my all-time favorites from back in the day, former WVU All-American tackle Brian Joswiak. One of my favorite events is coming up, 35th Brian Joswiak Legends Golf Outing, and it's coming up here in July. And I welcome into the show an old friend, Brian Joswiak. Brian, how are you this morning?
George, I'll tell you what, I'm 62 years old as of yesterday, and I couldn't feel any better. I'm with friends down here in Southwest Florida, Anna Maria Island, enjoying some beautiful weather as well. Just got done eating a little seafood dip, and ready to talk about this 35th annual event. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, and I mean that sincerely when I say it's one of my favorite events. And thanks to Chris Pecan and you guys thinking about me and inviting me, I am just blessed that I'm able to attend, because a lot of those guys, and you and I have talked about it, those are my guys.
Heck yeah. Well, you're part of the fabric, I mean, we're all in it together. And when you're covering that group of guys for all those many years, especially, going back to the Don Nehlen era of football where, the locker rooms were the way they were, and the coaching staff that he had, and he was there every year for all those years. And, you look at that fabric, man, you're part of that. Mickey Fafari, Woody O'Hara, all the great voices that have come out of that era of Mountaineer football. Special stuff, man. You're part of the gang, man.
Well, it's enjoyable, and it's one of my favorite events. I don't think I've ever asked you this question before. How did this all get started? How did it come about? What was the impetus for getting this started? Was it a group of people that got together? How did it all get started?
Brother, it really got started in my association with West Virginia Children's Hospital, WVU's Children's Hospital up there back in the Don Nehlen era. When we had a Saturday home game on Friday after walkthrough, we'd throw our jerseys on and get in a little bus and drive over and go visit the kids, going in and out.
Yeah.
And that's where the seed was planted to one day, do something for Children's Hospital, give back, so to speak. So fast forward to 1989, when I got released from the Chiefs, I came back to Morgantown to finish my degree. And a good friend of mine, Scott Sears, lived over in Fairmont. I knew him and his brother and his family from back in my playing days. And when I got back, we always had communicated, and he had a bar restaurant with a partner of his named Billy Jones over in Fairmont, and it was called Windsor's. And we used to get over there and hang out. It was really cool. And one day we were talking, and I shared, my thoughts, and we wanted to, I wanted to continue the relationship with WVU Children's Hospital. And Scotty and I brainchilded this let's do a golf tournament. Back in 1990, there really weren't a whole lot of charity golf tournaments going on. So we kind of put together, and we got with Dr. Bill Neal, who was the director of Children's Hospital at the time, and Peggy Myers, who was the newly named development coordinator. We got together there, and we put this event together, and 35 years later, man, it's evolved so many different times. And it's grown, man. And now we've even added a Wednesday event. Here, can I give you the lineup real quick?
Yeah,
this
go
is
ahead.
What's going on. This is what this thing, we started out with Windsor's first annual Celebrity Golf Classic is what it was deemed and named. And we played at the Green Hills Country Club over in Fairmont. Then we moved to Bell Meadows down off of, Route 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came back to Green Hills. And then 10 years ago, This is our 10th anniversary, as it is our 35th anniversary, but our 10th anniversary. So 10 years now, we've been playing at Lakeview and positioning ourselves, headquartered in Morgantown, which is where it all started. And Lakeview was chosen because it is such a great golf course. And of course, back in my day, that's where we stayed. So the guys that come back, we get around Lakeview, man, it strikes a chord. You know what I'm saying? It's a feel good. And anyway, so it starts off now Wednesday out there at this place called Tipsy Teas. It's right off the interstate. Great barbecue venue, music. We're going to have the Marshall Lowry Band. We're going to do a little meet and greet from about 8 to 11. I got a whole carload of guys that's showing up. And then Thursday, we're at Tropics right there in Morgantown again, out there right butts against Lakeview's golf course. We do our Thursday event, which and you've been part of, is really awesome. Bunch of guys, as we call, Mountaineer legends and folks that matter in the grand scheme of things, and a bunch of great support. We just got some great sponsors to get involved, and man, it's just awesome because it'll be a sellout. There'll be a couple 350 people there. We do an auction, live auction, and that money Thursday night that's raised goes directly into the Haas Foundation. Jeff Hostetler, of course, he is what he is. He's one of the big reasons why that 10-story facility is sitting there. Mm-hmm. He's been part of the board, and him and Coach Nealon have always been the godfather and godson, if you will, of WVU Children's Hospital. And so that money we raise on Thursday goes right there to the Haas Foundation. And then Friday we get going at Lakeview. We've got a great golf outing that takes place. It's a 6-man format, which we kind of invented. I've never heard of that back in the day. And I said, why 6? Well, because if you're going to have a foursome and a celebrity, there's an empty seat. We can sell that seat, make it a 5-man with a celebrity scramble, and make a few more bucks. And so that's what it is now. And then we added last year an event on Saturday. Since we've got a captive audience, we got a bunch of guys that come in and are part of this. Daryl Talley, Major Harris, and these guys that are all part of this thing now. On Saturday, we're going to go over to Suburban Lanes right there, Kegler's, and we're doing a bowling with the legends, man. You could put a team in. It's like $50 a head, and the Suburban Lanes has offered us. They don't charge us a dime. So any money we can raise in this little event, another $5,000 or $6,000 would be really nice. Because it's going to such a wonderful thing. So, brother, in 35 years, it's grown into a 4-day event weekend, celebrating and really promoting the awareness, and it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids, and a bunch of guys get together and have a little reunion, and of course, with Coach Rich Rodriguez back at the helm, he's one of us. We were teammates back in the early 80s, and of course, we coached against each other a little bit, but when he became the head coach, he took the torch. Coach Nealon's always been our honorary chairman, and he's the godfather of this whole thing. If it wasn't for him, this golf tournament wouldn't exist, honestly, because he motivated me in a spiritual way, always give back.
Yeah, well,
it's going to give to you, but you got to give back.
Yeah, it's just a great event, and you've got a great lineup of the guys really come out for this. You've got a great lineup of people coming in.
Oh, it's an honor first because when you talk about Mountaineer football and beyond, most of the guys that come back for this all have NFL caliber experience. From the Daryl Talley, he'll be there. We're going to celebrate his birthday Thursday at Tropics. It's actually his birthday. And we're going to do that. We're going to honor him. And, of course, Major Harris, Coach Nealon, Coach Rodriguez will be there. Pat White, Noel Devine, Owen Schmidt, John Ray, Mike Fox, Aaron Beasley, Mike Collins, Big Vanderjack. I mean,
on and on it goes. What a list, right?
Yeah. And those are just the Mountaineer guys. I mean, there's basketball shows up. Daryl Prue's there every year.
Oh, one of my favorite ex-Steelers who lives right close by always comes. Brian Blankenship.
Oh, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach Frazier. We were just fishing with him.
Yeah.
We did a thing back in March down at Harmon's Cabin, fly fishing with Curtis Fleming, the Fly Rod Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
We took Major and Mike Fox and myself, and we went down there and caught. Major Harris was with us, and we all went fly fishing.
Yeah, before I let you go, people can still get involved with all of the different events. What's the best way to do that?
You can go to two different sites. You can go to Joe's Knows WV Kids KIDZ.com, and that just gives you a quick lineup. We got a Facebook page you can go to. Joe's Knows Kids is out there, those are the two best ways if you want to get involved.
And you can still get involved with all of the different events, from golf to
we sell tickets. Yes, sir. I can tell you this. I mean, I think we're pretty good with number of teams for the golf outing itself. We've never really turned anybody away, but we've got some constraints because of the fact that
and the bowling is probably still open. I'm up against the news. Yeah, I'm up against the news, but I love talking with you. It's great and I hope to see you on Thursday and maybe at some of the other events, and I'll have something for you for the auction from Coach LeBeau. Okay?
Oh, hey, I appreciate that. Awesome. Thanks, George.
All right, you take care. Brian Joswiak, the former WV All-American, the 35th Brian Joswiak Legends Golf Outing kicks off actually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Morgantown. It's a great event. That wraps up our number one of the Sportsline. Do not touch that dial. We have another full hour of sports talk coming up, including a guest at 11:30 talking the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Penguins offseason. One of my favorites, Bob Grove, joins me at 11:30. The Sportsline is being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out. Enjoy fine dining and a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. The news is next from the CBS Radio Network, right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Allison Keyes. There's a new round of Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities as the hostilities between those nations start their second week. Talks in Geneva yesterday between Iran's top diplomat and European foreign ministers did not produce a breakthrough, but Iran's foreign minister says there's still a chance for a negotiated end to the fighting.
Iran is ready to consider diplomacy once again.
CBS's Haley Ott reports that won't happen unless Israel stops attacking.
Missiles over Tel Aviv, launched from Iran in the early hours, sending people fleeing to bomb shelters. No casualties were reported, but a fire broke out at an apartment building near the city, and Israel swiftly responded, targeting missile storage and launch infrastructure sites, it said, as well as the Isfahan nuclear site, and killing 3 Revolutionary Guard commanders.
Mahmoud Mahmoud Khalil, the former Columbia student detained in a federal immigration detention center for more than 100 days, is free now. The Trump administration tried to deport him over his role in pro-Palestinian protest and now plans to appeal his release.
Justice prevailed, but it's long, very long overdue. This shouldn't have taken 3 months.
On the first day of summer, it is sweltering around many parts of the globe and in the U.S. as well. Health experts are warning people to be careful in the extreme heat. CBS News meteorologist John Elliott.
Summer isn't even a day old, and over 100 million Americans under a heat advisory, watch, or warning stretching from the northern plains all the way to the Gulf and into New England as well.
A federal judge has approved a $7.4 billion opioid settlement against Purdue Pharma. That's another step in the process against the company accused of fueling the nation's opioid crisis. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder explains.
The big sticking point has been legal immunity. So the Supreme Court rejected the original settlement deal because that would have shielded the Sackler family from other lawsuits, including from victims. So that forced a renegotiation of the settlement.
For the first time in nearly 100 years, more than 100 national monuments are up for sale. CBS's Katie Weiss says some involve important moments in civil rights history.
In a statement, the Department of Interior says it's making our parks more efficient, better maintained, and more enjoyable.
I don't buy that. No, for every $1 federal dollar invested in a national park, they return about $15 to communities that they're located in. That's an enormous, enormous return on investment.
The Trump administration says it is shrinking or revoking some national monuments as part of its anti-DEI movement. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
There's a new space now for aging LGBTQ folk.
The now 5-year-old Village Hearth in Durham, North Carolina, is a safe space for people 55 and older who identify as LGBTQ+. It's one of the country's first co-housing developments created specifically for an aging queer population, people like 73-year-old Barb Chase.
I lived my life pretty much in the closet. And I was ready for an experience that was super affirming.
The 28 single-story pastel-colored cottages are individually owned, but connected physically by walking paths and ideologically by acceptance. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Happy couples exchanged wedding rings on what's called the Ring Road in Amsterdam. The Dutch capital is celebrating its 750th anniversary, and one couple noted it was a nice party that they didn't have to organize. The city says more than 600,000 people tried to get access to the festival. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Let's face it. Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Folks, this is the final days of employee pricing for everyone, and if you've had the itch or even considering a new car, you need to stop, click, or call and talk with one of my teammates to get all the details. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this offer.
John, this is just one example of how employee pricing works. We have a 2024 Super Duty Crew Cab XLT. You save up to $8,000 off MSRP or take up to $5,000 off in rates as low as 3.9 for 60 months and 4.9 for 72. Pre-owned, you know we got them. Over 60 in stock and ready to roll. Most are certified with factory warranty.
Keep in mind, we still continue to offer online maintenance appointments, mobile service, and our very popular pickup and delivery service. Your car knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown, on the hill across from Applebee's, or check us out at FordofUniontown.com. Offer includes all applicable incentives, 2025 Expeditions, and 2025 Super Duty, and all specialty vehicles are excluded from employee pricing. You must finance a Ford Motor Credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace. What's more fun than a summertime bucket list? Did you know that adding a new air conditioner from Economy Furnace to your summer bucket list is a really cool move? Especially if your current unit is old or inefficient? Economy Furnace Heating and Air has partnered with Amana, which is known for reliable performance, high energy efficiency, strong build quality, and competitive pricing. Not quite ready for a new unit? Then don't forget to add a manufacturer-recommended AC tune-up to that summer bucket list. Let us take the worry of a summertime meltdown and keep you calm, cool, and comfortable all summer long. Economy Furnace Company is local and family-owned. Thank you for voting us Best in Fayette 2 years in a row, and don't forget to add voting for us once again to your bucket list. Call Economy Furnace Heating and Air at 724-438-4575. For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Wow, your dog looks beautiful. We went to Mutt's on Market Street, the new dog grooming salon in downtown Brownsville. Samantha, the owner, has over 10 years dog grooming experience. They work with any dog, any breed, any size.
Didn't it cost a fortune?
No, the prices are great. They offer a full line of grooming and other services.
With warm weather on the way, now's the time to schedule an appointment for your furry friend's spring grooming. Mutt's on Market Street, downtown Brownsville, next to Hope Park. For more information, visit Mutt's on Market Street on Facebook. Mutt's on Market Street will be open during the Market Street repairs. Well, warmer days are ahead, the kind of days when you'll be enjoying your deck or patio again, especially with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturers and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067. Call for a no-cost or obligation home consultation or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges Jr.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
Your local station, WMBS.
Welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. The Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday from 12 to 9 and Sunday from 12 to 5. Come on out. Enjoy fine dining and a round of golf. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you as we forge ahead into hour number 2 of the Sportsline, and we continue with open line conversation up until our guest at 11:30, when I welcome hockey historian and writer Bob Grove into the conversation. We'll talk the just completed Stanley Cup playoffs and the offseason for the Pittsburgh Penguins, which has already seen a coaching change and a new staff and all sorts of other things going on. Bob Grove will join me at 11:30. But up until that point, it's you and me. Your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. And if you had any problems getting through in hour number one, you should have no problems right now because I am gazing at a wide open board. So do come ahead with your questions and your comments. Love to hear from you. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. Once again, 724-438-4593. Do come ahead with your questions and your comments. And some of the things we can delve into. We had a little Pirate Talk in hour number one. Steeler camp will open July 25th at St. Vincent College. They've got a new quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is in the fold finally. We've had a lot of conversation about that. And quite frankly, some mixed feelings about the Steelers signing Aaron Rodgers. I saw a poll, actually several of them, where the fan base is sort of 50-50 about Aaron Rodgers becoming a Pittsburgh Steeler. We can talk about that. We have Bob Grove coming up. It's been an eventful Penguins offseason. Mike Sullivan is out as coach. Dan Muse is in, a whole new coaching staff. Rumors about Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle and David Morehouse may be trying to repurchase the franchise. I'm not sure how much stock I place in that, but lots of things going on there. So if you want to jump into the conversation, a wide variety of subjects, 724-438-4593 is the number to call. Let's take our first phone call in hour number two. Good morning. You're on the Sportsline.
Hello?
Hello. You're on the air.
Oh, yes. Good morning, sir. I just first-time caller. I called from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And I lived in Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I just want to mention about Doug DeCenzo. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame last night.
Yesterday afternoon. I know I was the MC. Yes, I inducted
him.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Yes, I inducted him into the Hall of Fame. Great guy and very deserving. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. I grew up with him. I'm just a little bit older. We live right next to each other. I will say this, sir. Every day and night, his father used to hit baseballs to him every day and every night. I mean, the kid was, resilient.
Mm-hmm.
He was a heck of a. Actually, the whole family is great. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
Doug mentioned his family, and he had several family members in attendance yesterday afternoon, and he talked about his dad and playing catch and doing some other things, and talked about Brownsville and growing up, and it's just part of the fabric of Fayette County. We've had some great athletes come out of the county. He played 7 years in the major leagues. There's only been like a handful of guys that have made it to the majors from Fayette County, and it was a great event yesterday. It really was. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I wish I could have attended that. Yes, sir, because when he spoke of his uncle showing the curveball, Kerry, his uncle Kerry. That guy, he was. They were all athletes. His father and all of them were athletes too. So
Right. And his boy played college baseball. Zach was a catcher.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. I don't know if you remember Gilbert Joseph.
Yes, I know Gil. Yeah, he went into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he had a great career at W&J.
Yeah. We all grew up in Hiller, the Patch kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for checking in. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
You take care.
You take care.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And it was a great event yesterday at Pleasant Valley Golf Club, the Fayette County Sports Hall of Fame Golf Outing and Hall of Fame Luncheon. We had great attendance, 104 golfers, over 178 people also coming for lunch, and we inducted a great class, and it went off very, very smoothly. It's great to see the Fayette County sports community get together and support an event like that. Well, that frees up both of our phone lines once again. Do come ahead. Love to hear from you. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. All you have to do is pick up the phone. Give me a call, 724-438-4593. That's the number to call, 724-438-4593. We had so many interviews leading up to the Hall of Fame that we didn't take a lot of phone calls the past few weeks. Well, this is your chance to get into the conversation right now. We have a period of open line conversation right now. That's for you folks to get involved. So take advantage of it. Let's talk about a variety of subjects. 724-438-4593, the number to call. We've got hockey talk coming up. We haven't talked any Steelers today. That's certainly on the docket. And I did mention in hour number one, isn't it great to see a Western Pennsylvania kid, a kid from the WPIAL, performing on the biggest stage in pro basketball in the NBA Finals, like T.J. McConnell, who comes from a great basketball family, the McConnell family, but TJ has just been lights out. And Indiana, which was a big underdog coming into this series with the Oklahoma City Thunder, who had a great regular season, they're right there. They have forced a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. And you know as well as I do, anything can happen in a Game 7. Game 7, Sunday night, 8 p.m. in Oklahoma City. But I just can't say enough about how well the Western Pennsylvania kid, T.J. McConnell, has played in that series. So once again, do come ahead. Love to hear from you. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. 724-438-4593. We had a lot of people saying we didn't give enough time for open line conversation because of all the Hall of Fame interviews leading up to the Hall of Fame luncheon yesterday at Pleasant Valley. Well, the time is there now, folks. This is your time to shine, and both lines are wide open. You should have no problems getting through. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. I do want to mention that I watched the Pirates, and man, it is so tough to watch that ball club because they've got, for the most part, pretty solid starting pitching, and they've got a guy who could be a generational pitcher in Paul Skeens, and they continually, because of their anemic offense, they continually break a cardinal rule of baseball and waste good pitching over and over again. And an example of that is, they scored 2 runs last night in the loss to Texas. That was the 35th time this season that they have scored 2 runs or fewer in a ballgame. I mean, the front office should be ashamed that they weren't able to do what they needed to do during the offseason and add a bat or 2 to this lineup. And I'm not talking about the Tommy Phams of the world. Why is he still on this roster? Play some of the younger kids. They brought Billy Cook up. What about Nick York or somebody? I mean, Tommy Pham has no business being on this roster right now with the shape that this ball club is in. But that is another failure of the front office of the Pittsburgh Pirates to not, at scouting and development, they are without a doubt one of the worst in baseball. They now sit at 30-47, careening toward another losing season. But when I saw that stat this morning, I knew the offense was bad. But 35th time this season that they have scored 2 runs or fewer. My goodness. That just boggles your mind. And, they continue to play guys who don't give you anything as far as maybe looking to a future. Is there a future for this ball club? I don't know. They're not willing to spend any money in free agency, and they didn't have to break the bank in free agency this year. There were a few guys out there that if they had put forth a little bit of effort, Santander, the former Oriole, Chris Walker, the former Diamondback first baseman who signed a reasonable contract with Houston, They didn't go after any of them. And I realize I've beat this like a dead horse before, but it's just amazing to me. It borders on, if they were doctors, it would be malpractice, the way the front office has run things. And admittedly, they may be hamstrung in a lot of ways by ownership, because Bob Nutting has his way of doing things, and that is not spend money. He's got the fourth lowest payroll in baseball. His payroll is already paid for before they even open the gates with the money he gets from revenue sharing and other streams. And it's, and they tried, Dejan Kovacevic and that crew tried to write an article saying that they were losing money. And that was disproved recently. I believe Forbes magazine, in talking to baseball people and other people, have stated that the Pirates are making money. They had the fourth highest total in baseball of return with what they have invested this past year. So, no, they are not losing money. They're just not spending anything. And, a cardinal rule of any business is in order to be successful, you have to put a little money back into your business. They don't do that. All they do is just rake in the profits. It's just, I know, enough of me pontificating about the Pirates. We've got time for a call, maybe two, before we get to our guest at the bottom of the hour, and the phone lines have dried up. I know it's beautiful out there, folks, but don't leave me hanging. This is your opportunity. You wanted the opportunity for open line sports talk. It's here. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. 724-438-4593. Let's take a quick call. Good morning. You're on the Sportsline.
Hello, George.
Yes.
This is Mark calling.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, we have all kind of stats today, in baseball. Stats we've never heard of when we was a kid, the pitch count and whatnot. But I know what the Pirates, they tied a league record for, they just score 5 or more runs in 26 games or something like that. There was
I think it was 4 or more. Yeah, but
4 or more.
Yeah. They did that earlier. And then I just gave you the stat, 35th time this season that they have scored 2 runs or fewer in a game.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I was watching. I was down at Dino's place, sports bar, and I was watching the New York Yankees play the Royals, and they scored 5 runs in the second inning, and that was the 17th time this season that they scored 5 more runs in an inning.
You're talking about the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees.
Yeah. Well,
the Yankees.
All you got to do is take a look at their lineup and take a look at what the Pirates are running out there, and you see why.
Yeah. But this is the team that lost the World Series last year, right?
Right. To the Dodgers. They got beat by the Dodgers.
Yeah. What chance do the Pirates have got of beating a team like that then?
The way they're doing business, they have no chance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess Mitch Keller. I heard that Mitch Keller. He was tied in the league for 11 quality starts in a row. He was tied in the majors.
11 quality starts, and he comes into the game today sporting a 1-9 record with a 4.08. He's pitched very well.
Yeah.
They haven't scored any runs for him at all.
Yeah, I've never heard that. You got 11 quality starts and you're 1-9.
Yeah. It's happened before with people, and it ties back to you need to put you can't shut teams out, and win games.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works. You got to score some runs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked Dino to change the channel. I wanted to watch Jaws last night at 8 o'clock. It was the 50th anniversary.
50th anniversary of the release of Jaws, a film that scared the living bejesus out of a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I had friends that wouldn't go in the water.
Yeah, I was there. I went to the movies. I saw that sucker. Yeah. But what is it with the center fielder?
O'Neal Cruz. He made a horrible play on a single, and it went under his glove and went all the way to the wall. And sometimes that happens. I'll be honest. Yeah. They're human. It happens.
Yeah.
The most egregious thing that he did
Yeah.
is he didn't run after the ball.
Oh.
He stood there and watched it. He let one of the other outfielders go get it. There's no excuse for that. Yeah. None.
Because I was at around 40 diner this morning, and the first thing I hear in the morning, he started complaining about O'Neill Cruz not chasing the ball or something. It was
he let it get by him and then didn't go after it. I mean, there's no excuse for that. Yeah. None.
Okay, George, that's all I got for today.
All right. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it. You take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. And that takes us up to about time for our guest, Bob Grove, the Penguins historian and writer, is going to join me. We're going to talk about the recently completed Stanley Cup playoffs and the Penguins offseason, new coaching staff and coaching head coach. They're doing some other things as well. And nobody better to talk hockey with than Bob Grove. And he is up next right here on the Sportsline.
The summer's here, so why not treat yourself to fun at Walnut Hill Mini Golf, now open Tuesday through Sunday from noon to 9. Enjoy the golf and their frozen custards and drinks. They are simply the best. They were voted one of the best family fun centers in Fayette County. Walnut Hill Mini Golf is located a half-mile south of the Uniontown Shop and Save. Call 724-437-3005. Visit walnuthillminiaturegolf.com or like them on Facebook. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, noon to 9, and they're still for sale.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., what's going on at Autoland for June?
While other car manufacturers are raising prices, at Autoland, we're lowering prices the whole month of June. We are also offering above Blue Book value in all trades. All this, plus the amazing incentives and financing offers from Hyundai on top of that.
I'm listening.
How about the fuel-efficient 2025 Elantra SE with 2.99 APR for 72 months, or lease for $229 per month? Check out our great selection of all-wheel drive SUVs, ranging from the Hyundai Kona to the full-size third-row Santa Fe, both with 3.99 financing for 72 months, or choose $2,000 HMF bonus cash on the Santa Fe.
Plus Hyundai Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection with every new Hyundai purchased, and 3-year, 36,000-mile free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutolandHyundai.com.
Remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Here's a business looking for a customer.
Hi there.
Here's a customer looking for a business.
Hi.
And that's where the Better Business Bureau comes in. The BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. That's why 2023 IABBB research found 80% of people choose BBB accredited businesses over non-accredited ones with the same A+ letter rating. Live happily, better after. Always look for the sign of a better business because it's looking out for you. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Pirates broadcaster Greg Brown, and you're listening to the Sports Line with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sports Line on what is shaping up as a beautiful Saturday here in Western Pennsylvania. The Stanley Cup playoffs just concluded, and still no title for a Canadian team. I think it's going on 30 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Florida Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup. Overwhelming performance by the Panthers. They just really, really played well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. The Penguins' offseason has been exciting already. A regime change. Mike Sullivan out as head coach. He didn't last long on the market. He's with the Rangers now, but Dan Muse is the new head coach, and he's bringing in the coaching staff. And here to talk about all things NHL and all things Penguins, my good friend, longtime friend, Penguins writer and historian Bob Grove. Bob, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great this morning, George. Great to talk with you as always.
As always, I really enjoy it. So let's put a capper on the Stanley Cup playoffs. I saw you tweeting throughout the playoffs, and boy, the Panthers are a tough, tough team to play against. They really get after you. They really do, you know.
Yeah, they were a machine, George, in these playoffs. No question about it. You know, they've got Bobrovsky in the back, and they've got a good defensive crew, and they've got, you know, that forward group that just forechecks like crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a team. And we know the Penguins in 16 and 17 were a terrific forechecking team. But I mean, the way the pressure they put on you, it's unrelenting. It's smart. And their D are just, you know, they're always forcing the action. They're always pinching down. They're making good decisions. And they got, you know, obviously a number of incredible performances, Marchand and Bennett and those guys, and Kachuk, who's hurt for most of it or all of it, and still, you know, put up the points. They're a machine.
Reinhart and Bennett. I mean, it just goes on and on with some of these guys, right? You know,
it does, and so it'll be an interesting summer because they've got some decisions to make. You know, the cap's going up, but Marchand, Bennett, Schmidt, Ekblad, Nosek, they're all unrestricted free agents.
That's good. Well, that leads me to a question. I got a question earlier in the show. Can this team become a little bit of a dynasty? It's 2 in a row now, and I think their third straight Stanley Cup appearance. And I said, well, a lot of that depends on what happens with free agency and the cap and everything else like that, the business of things. I wasn't quite sure where they rank in terms of being an older team, or are they in the middle of the pack?
Well, they're a veteran team.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. I mean, they don't have a first round pick in the next 3 drafts. I mean, you know, they've moved picks. But Bill Zito, the GM, he's brilliant. I mean, he's probably the best GM in the game. I mean, if you think about it, you know, he's the guy that Marchand's unhappy in Boston. You know, he can't come to terms with the Bruins, and who swoops in and gets him? You know, a lot of people said it's going to be Vegas, but no, it's Florida. You know, and just the moves he makes just tend to be. You look at them, and you say, now you look at them and you say, well, my God, how did they do that? But he's one of the guys. Nate Schmidt, you know, Nate Schmidt's career was in a downspin. He's the one who goes and gets Seth Jones, and he was unhappy in Chicago. I mean, you can just go right down the list. Gustav Forsling going one-on-one against McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd they get him? They picked him up on waivers years ago. So, you know, he's still running the show. The team kind of runs itself for Coach Paul Maurice, to be honest with you. He said that many times. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they could win 3 in a row. And, you know, nobody's done that since the Islanders won 4 in a row back in the early 80s.
Right. And I answered the guy by saying, you know, depending on what happens, things could change, but I don't think they're going to go away. They're just, you know, and the way you outline things, being able to manipulate things and make moves like that, that's the big key right there. They seem to find a way. You know. Yeah.
They do, and you know, people point out they're a tax-free state. Well, yeah, they are. I mean, they're one of several, so they're one of the teams that has that going for them. But the players want to stay. I mean, you know, you heard Sam Bennett say, and it's easy to say that when you're celebrating the cup and everything. Of course, he's going to say he wants to stay, and he's going to stay. He's going to make a boatload of money. But the players, they love being there. And that's one of the things that Marchand talked about, coming there as an outsider. And he just was amazed at how tight that team is, how they play for each other and their consistency and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great situation in Florida. But to your point, getting back to a fourth Cup final in a row, we all know that it can take a toll on a team. And they're not, again, as we talked earlier, they're not the youngest team in the league.
Right.
But they just seem to be so professional about the way they do it. And what that means is, for me, is don't be surprised next year if Florida at times in the regular season doesn't look great, because these guys will just save it. And we all know, George, how many times have we heard you can't just flip a switch in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
But kind of that's what Florida does for me.
They really do. And they're just, and I was looking at Marchand, and I never cared for him because of the history with the Penguins and other things like that, but he fits in perfectly. He's a pest.
Yeah.
He fits in with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
It's like adding another pest,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's the one guy I don't think will be back.
Right.
I think he's going to get overwhelmed by offers here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a little bit.
And obviously, people wondered about that, but obviously he's still got a little bit left in the tank.
He does. He absolutely does. And you love him or hate him, I mean, you can't deny that the guy is an absolute player. And I mean, he's 37 years old, and he's got something left, and you're going to see that because he's going to get offers that are based not just on what he's just done with Florida, but on his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it'll end up being a little too rich for Florida. And, but I could see them keeping a lot of the other guys. I know Ekblad said he believes he's going to stay. We've already heard that from Bennett. So, yeah, the East is going to be chasing the same team.
Well, it's really funny. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams years ago when we first met, we were talking about hockey and everything, and the epicenter for hockey, two of the most successful franchises would be based in Florida?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
It is, and I mean, Gary Bettman has taken a lot of flack sometimes for his, his expansion plans to the south of the U.S., and he certainly took it in Phoenix. He took it in, and look, and Atlanta didn't work out, but guess what? Atlanta's coming back, and it probably won't be all that long before we have another team in Atlanta. It's all based on what are the biggest TV markets. We all know that. Tampa and the Lightning they just recently won 2 cups in a row. Now you've got Florida winning 2 cups in a row. It is amazing to think how that's worked. And you've got a great team just up the coast in Carolina who, while they haven't won any cups, have been among the best teams in the NHL now for several seasons.
Right, they have. Let's flip the script a little bit. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the last Canadian team, it's been, 30 years to win a Stanley Cup?
Canadians in 93.
Yeah. And a lot of people were thinking this might be the year for Edmonton. Connor McDavid, the fans have just been brutal. They have just ripped him to shreds for his performance in the playoffs. And I guess when you're a superstar, that goes with the territory too. They expect you to lead your team, but I thought the most interesting tweet throughout the playoffs that you put out there, because I follow you on Twitter and while the games are being played, you said the other night, Edmonton cannot go into next season with this goaltending.
No, they can't. I think that's one of the big priorities for the off season. Stuart Skinner has been up and down as their number one guy. I mean, look at what happened to him this year is a perfect example. He had a couple of games in the finals, consecutive road games where he was pulled. He also had a point earlier in the playoffs where he had 3 straight shutouts. Calvin Pickard has really not ever been a number one in the National Hockey League, and there was a point this year in the playoffs where what was he, 7 or 8 of his first playoff starts this season when Skinner got hurt in the first, Skinner got pulled in the first round. So they've had their moments, both of them, but here was Knobloch right at the end of the Stanley Cup final trying to figure out who was his best goalie. And as many people have said, if you don't know who your number one guy is, you don't really have a number one, and they don't for me. And neither one of them while they've been close, you can make the argument, look, Stuart Skinner took them to within one game of the Cup last spring, and they come within 2 this spring. So nobody's saying they're awful, but I just don't think either one of those guys has what it takes to win one.
Yeah, and, it makes me think of Pittsburgh because I haven't been happy with the goaltending in Pittsburgh, but it looks they're stuck with the goaltending in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Jari Nedeljkovic will be back this season. Yeah, I mean, look. If Edmonton does go out and get somebody, there's people, and I know a lot of people in Pittsburgh who want Jari out of here, saying, "Well, hey, he played his junior hockey in Edmonton, perfect fit, blah blah blah." Well, he's not a perfect fit because if we're just sitting here saying neither one of
they would be exchanging one problem for another, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be giving up. Yeah. You'd be trading. You'd be giving up on. How many playoff series has Jari won? He's won none.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you can possibly imagine that he's the solution for the Edmonton Oilers. Look, that's not the only problem the Oilers have. And, the criticism of McDavid is just hilarious. The guy is superhuman. I mean, he led, he and Draisaitl both led the Stanley Cup playoffs in scoring. Do you think for a minute that perhaps his inability to put up big numbers or have a huge game in the Stanley Cup Finals was because of the team they were playing? Florida just blanketed him.
That's what I said to an earlier caller. I said, no, I think you got to give some credit where it's due, which is to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. McDavid's a phenomenal all-time player. He's going to win a cup. Yeah, he's frustrated. Yes, Edmonton's close. It's hard to look down too much on a team that's been to 2 straight Stanley Cup Finals.
Exactly.
I just don't. It's hard to do, but they're not perfect. They had to be against Florida and couldn't manage it, and now they got to make some moves.
So let's get to the real meat on the bone, the Pittsburgh Penguins. We had a coaching change. Mike Sullivan, he wasn't on the market very long, wound up in New York. I got to tell you, when I heard who they named, I didn't know anything about the guy, Dan Muse. I had to go try and find. I said, where did this guy come from?
Yeah. Yeah, well, George, you weren't alone in that. I mean, the NHL assistant coach fraternity can be a little bit anonymous to a lot of fans, quite frankly, and especially a guy like Muse, who's, he's never been a head coach, obviously,
you mean
until now.
The Joe Block lookalike.
Yeah. It's amazing, huh?
They look like each other so much, it's unbelievable. It's scary.
It is crazy.
Yeah. Are you there? Bob. I think we lost Bob. If you're listening in the back room, we just lost him for some reason. And we'll try and reestablish. He was right in the middle of mid-sentence. You see, we mentioned Joe Block, and everything went haywire. But we'll get him back here in a second because there's a couple of things I want to get into real quick. And I think we got him. You see what happens, Bob? We mentioned Joe Block, and everything goes haywire.
Good to be back with you, George. But as we were saying, Muse has his background is in development, so no surprise that that's the kind of coach, that Dubas hires. He goes and gets a guy who he won an NCAA title as an assistant at Yale, right? He's won in the USHL with Chicago. The whole bit, the national team development program. Got a long history of it, so it's exactly the sort of coach. And having a fresh face, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And they hired another guy who's gonna be able to. He has a resume with a lot of development on it as well, and that's Todd Nelson. The assistant coach that just named this week.
He was with Hershey, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he won two Calder Cups with Hershey. He won one with Grand Rapids. And so he's got a long history of working with young players as well.
And an old friend is coming back.
Yeah, Nick Bonino. Just what a player he was for the Penguins in 16 and 17.
I know what you were doing as soon as you heard that announcement. Bonino.
yeah. That was unforgettable. But he's new to the coaching fraternity, obviously, so that'll be an adjustment for him as well. So look, there's very few times I tweeted out yesterday, and I'm trying to remember my own tweet, but I think this is the fifth time that the Penguins have turned over their entire coaching staff.
That was the tweet. Fifth time. Yeah.
Head coach and the assistant. So it doesn't happen very often that you get a whole slate of new folks in there, and so there's an excitement about that, and it'll be charged up a little bit when you get to the draft too.
Well, let's talk. There's a particular path it looks like that Dubas is trying to take, and they've accumulated a lot of draft capital, haven't they?
Oh, George, they got 30 picks in the next three drafts, and 4 firsts, 6 seconds, and 8 thirds. So not only do they have 30, but 18 of the 30 are in the first 3 rounds. And
there's a lot of ways you can go with that, right?
There is. I mean, and he's not going to draft 30 players with those picks.
Well, that's what I mean. They could use it for other things,
That's right. He'll move some of those picks to pick up younger players around the league. I think he's been pretty clear that, if you're waiting for him to go after big name free agents, forget about it. I think whatever the Penguins do in the off season as far as bringing players in is going to be mostly through trades. He's got the assets now to help him make those kind of trades. We know that a lot of teams are calling on Erik Karlsson, so we'll see where that goes. And he's focused on what he's thinking about is younger players who are out there. Maybe they just haven't, found the right fit for themselves. Maybe they're 23, 24, 25 in that area. And so you think about the guys he's picked up recently. You talk about Tomasino, you talk about Kopen, and now he's a little bit older. Tomasino's only 23, but they go out and they get Timmins, who's 26. They go out in a trade and they get Dewar, who's 25. Those are the sorts of players that he's thinking about, not the bigger name free agents. Mm-hmm. And he's got, now they have a pipeline, George. They have, you just go down the list. You got McGroarty, you got Koivunen, you got, they just signed Fernstrom. Now he's only 19. He won't be in the NHL this season. The Hallander probably will be. Wow. That was great to have Phil Hallander back after the year he had in Sweden, but he's only 24. Pickering, Brunicky, they've got these younger defensemen, Harding, Murashov in goal. They have a pipeline now of younger players, and you've got a draft, not this draft, but the 26th draft that everybody who follows this closely says is much, much deeper and better than the current draft. And the Penguins are sitting there they're either going to have 1 or 2 picks in the first round, depending on what the Rangers decide to do with that pick that they had originally sent to Vancouver, and it's coming to Pittsburgh. And the Penguins have 3 second-round picks in 26 as well.
Wow.
So the table's set for them to not only pick some players in the drafts, but also use some of these picks to go and get some other players that Dubas thinks are going to get the Penguins back where they need to go.
2 guys, you mentioned one. What do you think the chances are of doing something with Karlsson? Do you think there will be anybody out there willing to take that on? They're probably going to have to pay some money to get rid of him. But and the other guy who just never has panned out is Graves.
Yeah, now Graves for me is unmovable. So he's got. I just don't see a way for the Penguins to get rid of him. He's just not worth what they're paying him. He's got $4.5 million hit for the next, 4 years. So he's unmovable. Is Karlsson movable? Yes, he is. But remember, he has all the leverage. He's got a no movement clause. So Karlsson's not going anywhere he doesn't want to go. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing that's weird about this situation for me is Karlsson keeps talking about, wanting to stay in Pittsburgh and wanting to, make another long playoff run and everything. And that's not where the Penguins are right now. And that's not where they're going to be next year either. So
it's not the place he wants to be if he's telling us the truth.
You're right. So I don't really understand him continuing to say that, but their teams are calling. There will be interest. And you're right. The Penguins are probably going to have to eat some salary, but they can do it. It can be done, and it would be a huge move for the Penguins right now to do that. I think it would serve them best to get him moved out of here.
Now, there was news recently, and clarify for everybody what's going on with Malkin.
Well, I mean, the news was that, sources telling The Athletic that, the Penguins aren't going to offer him another contract. I don't think that's really surprising to anybody, is it? I mean, we all know that look, he's had 2 major knee surgeries, Gino. The years have taken a toll on him. It's been hard for him. And he shows it. I mean, and that's not a knock on Evgeny Malkin. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's been incredible for the Penguins.
Father Time is undefeated, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, we can see that it's taken a toll on his skating and his abilities. And that's not a knock on him. It's just what happens to everybody. But it doesn't happen to everybody at the same time. And we see that with Sid. And we're talking about Marchand, who's 37.
Right.
There are always exceptions. But they're not going to offer him a contract. Not surprising. I think he'll just say at some point that, this is my last year in the NHL, and I want to have fun and go out and try to win some games.
What about Letang? He did have a procedure done during the off season.
Yeah, he's got that hole in his heart, but that was not a worry for him or the Penguins. By everything we've heard about it. I mean, he is still constantly, George. He's doing what he does every summer. He's working out like crazy. He's posting it on his Instagram thing, and you can see him doing all these kind of workouts. I mean, that guy is, you talk about a guy who takes pride in his physical ability and his strength and his training and the fact that he never stops working. Mm-hmm. That's Chris Letang. Mm-hmm. He's got 3 more years to go on his contract. Okay. And so I don't expect any issues with him.
Now, the other big news that came out, and you and I discussed this a little bit the other day, there was a report that Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle and Morehouse might be interested in purchasing the franchise from the Fenway Group. I'm not so sure about that, but give us your thoughts.
Well, look, I'm not close to these situations. I don't know anything. As a person who just looks at it, George, they sold it. They sold the team. Burkle and Mario sold the team for $900 million to Fenway, and that was in 21. So that was only 4 years ago. I don't know why they would, if they sold it then, they'd want to get back in now. It's just because the price, of course, is not going to be 900. It's probably going to be more like $1 billion. And so we know that Burkle has lots of money. And we also know this: if you invest in an NHL team, if you buy an NHL team, I don't care how long you keep it, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, you're going to get more than your money back. It's going to be a great investment for you. There's no question about it.
Right.
So there's all that. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand why that group would have sold the team just 4 years ago if they really wanted to get back into it. So it just doesn't kind of make sense to me. Now, it does make sense to me that Fenway might want out.
Yeah, I think maybe they didn't really understand the revenue streams and everything, the way hockey makes money. It's different from the other franchises that they own.
Well, it is. I mean, they've got the Red Sox. They've got Liverpool that just won the Premier League this year. Those are 2 money machines. There's always been some speculation. Recently the Celtics were on the market, and when it initially happened, there was, speculation that Fenway might be in on it, which they weren't. But I think there continues to be, some thought that what Fenway is doing is maybe they have their eye on making some other purchase of some other big name team in some sport. Maybe it's an NFL franchise, maybe it's an NBA franchise, I don't know. And that's why they'd want out, because the minute they start looking for it, and look, they're on the record, Fenway is saying, look, we're just looking for minority investors. That's it.
Right.
We're looking for minority investors. That's it. But for me, when you start saying that, my mind always goes to, okay, maybe that's where you're at now, but that maybe that's the first step towards you're going to get out completely.
Well,
and I'm just speculating.
Well, what you're saying is it's going to be very interesting to watch. We're out of time here, to say the least. It's going to be an interesting offseason, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. As always, thank you for your time. I always enjoy catching up with you, and we'll do it again here in the near future. You take care, my friend.
Thanks for having me, George.
Take care. Bob Grove with some great hockey talk. We'll wrap things up on the Sports Line right after this.
Bogey's Restaurant at Duck Hollow Golf Club is open for the season. Check out Bogey's refreshed 2025 menu. Bogey's is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 12 to 7 and Sundays 12 to 5. The golf season is also here with the Pro Shop open daily from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Golf 18 with a cart Monday through Friday for $39. The rate for 18 in a cart on Saturdays and Sundays is $49. Seniors 55 and over can play 18 with a cart during the week for just $30. You can purchase a special card that includes 20 18-hole rounds of golf with a cart for $660. That breaks down to just $33 a round, a savings of $16 off weekend fees. Looking at starting a golf league? Duck Hollow has league openings on Mondays and Fridays. Stop by the Pro Shop for more details. Bogey's Restaurant and Duck Hollow Golf Course. Call 724-880-9082 for golf tee times or for restaurant information today, or check out Duck Hollow on Facebook for weekly specials.
Yeah, they're the people I trust. It's the place I go. Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
This is home improvement season. Home Warehouse in Uniontown is your one-stop shop for all your exterior building needs. It's the place that makes a house a happy home. Looking to add a deck? Home Warehouse carries composite decking materials and maintenance-free railing in a variety of styles. Plus, roofing shingles, metal and commercial rubber roofing, windows and doors, shutters, siding, soffit and fascia, railing, columns, 5 and 6-inch seamless gutters, plus flooring and more. Whatever building products you need, you'll be pleased with the selection and hometown service. So stop in and see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse, Connellsville Street in Uniontown. Shop Monday through Friday 8 to 4:30, Saturday 8 to noon, closed Sunday and holidays.
Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Your health is more than just how you feel today. It's about staying well for the years ahead. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Primary Care, we're here to help you manage your health with regular checkups, screenings, and care that's tailored to you. With locations in Uniontown, Carmichaels, Connellsville, and Scottdale, it's easy to find care close to home. Visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown today to find the primary care provider who is right for you.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For more information on free estimates or hiring, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Casey Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
Hi, this is Penguins broadcaster Phil Bork, and you're listening to the Sports Line with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And that puts a capper on this edition of the Sports Line. Sports Line brought to you by my good friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Phone 724-439-2150. The news is coming your way next. George Von Benko saying so long. The news comes your way from the CBS Radio Network right here on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Allison Keyes. There's a new round of Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities as a hostility